Hello, everybody. This is Professor Yogesh N. Uh, Today, I'm going to explain the very first application of robotic process automation lab. The subject code is BCG701. It is an IPCC course. The first experiment is to develop automation in UiPath Studio X to demonstrate the activities like write line property, message box, input dialog box, modified text, text to left and right, and delay. So coming to the theory part of it, WriteLine is an activity which allows you to print a specified message to the output panel. And message box is similar to WriteLine, but it allows you to pause the automation and displays the text in the specified buttons in the message box. And the input dialog is an activity which allows you to prompt the user to provide an input. You have to select the input based on the indications provided. And then we have something called modified text. It allows you to modify the input text value by performing different operations. So when we go to the automation, you will get to know what are the different types of automation, modifications that we can do. Next, we have text to left or right. So this will allow you to split the text value into two text informations by making use of a separator. And then we have a delay. So this is an activity which is used to pause the automation for a specified number of time period. So here the time period considered is in seconds. So the very first property that we are going to automate is write line. So write line is just a display thing on the output panel. So I'm displaying a message called hello, this is Professor Yogeshan, and then I'm using a message box word file. I'm putting some information on the message box, so that will be displayed and it will be prompted in the automation process. Then I'm taking a input dialog box. So here I'm supposed to select any one of the input. So the input selection would be either process now, process later, and exit. So I'm giving certain conditions on what to select. So the question to select is please select how you want to proceed with the automation. So this is the question which I'm giving, and I'm using a multiple choice type, input type. So it selects it will prompt with three multiple choices: process now, process later, and exit. So we'll be selecting any one among them. So that is input dialog box. Next we have modified text. So the modify text can be done in four modifications. So one is find and replace text. The second one is trim text. Third one would be text to uppercase or lowercase. And the last one would be combining the text. I'll illustrate when we go to the automation process. So what exactly we do here is we prompt certain input here. So this is the input, whatever I'm pointing out now. Ask percentage when run to time. So this is the input. So the find and replaces certain characters here can be replaced, right, with the modification called find and replace text. So I'm finding a text or a string or a special character. So I'm taking here a special character percentage, and I'm replacing that by certain special character or any other numerical or alphabetical character also. Trimming is allowing the text to be removed with the left spaces and the right spaces by making use of trim left and trim right. Then text to uppercase or lower cases, the text input whatever it has been given at the end here. So this text can be changed by making use of, the case can be changed by making use of this text to uppercase and lowercase uh, modification. And there is one more which is called as uh, combined text. So the combined text is for the input, whatever it has been given here, text to modify input. For this input, if you want to add either before or after, you can add that by making use of combined text. So that is modified text activity. Next we have text to left and right. So text to left and right needs a special character in between to separate the information which is towards left and which is towards right. So the special character what I'm using here in the example is text to split. So new hires percentage 2020. So percentage is the separator. So towards left we have a information called new hires, and towards right we have an information called 2020. So that will be displayed by making use of two variables which is called as text to left and text to right. And then we have something called delay. So here the delay would be hours, minutes and seconds. We generally give the automation delay time in terms of seconds. So now I'll go and illustrate the applications in UiPath tool. So this is the tool which I'm using. So here I've already created the first application. So the right line property is hello. This is a Professor Yogeshan. And then message box. I'm giving an information called word file processing is completed. Do you want to? Sorry, do you wish to continue with the Excel file processing? That is the information which I'm giving, and I'm using a chosen button, so variable, so that there will be a button inside the message box to click either OK or yes or no, conditions. And then we have input dialog box. So here, so what actions to be performed is indicated via multiple choices, as I've already said. So the action dialog title would be any title that you can give. So I've given next action as a title, and the label is I've just typed so that it appears on the screen. Please select how you want to proceed with the automation. So that is what the title which I've given here. So here it could be either a text box or a message box. Since I am selecting multiple inputs, so I have taken a multiple choice as a input type. And in order to give the input type with the multiple choice, these are the data which I've given, and each multiple choice option should be separated by a semicolon. You can see here there is a semicolon here, and also here there is a semicolon. So I've given three options: process now, process later, and exit. Right, this is input dialog box. And next is modified text. As I already said, modified text as percentage when run to time, I have given some input. So I'm changing it to uppercase. So all the characters, whatever we have here, will be changed to uppercase. That is first automation. And then we have find and replace text. So I'm finding percentage and replacing that by two colons. And then we have something called combined text. So I am adding to do automation as a text to be added to this information, wherever we have mentioned here. Ask when run to time. So for this, I have to add or combine this information. You can choose either towards left or right. So I'm choosing it to the right. So there are four options that you can see. So I can mention even trim also, trim left and right. So as I've already said, this will remove the spaces which are there towards left and right. And to display what informations that has been generated out of this modification, I'm creating a variable here called output variable, and that is used here in the right line property to display that on the console window. And next we have something called text to left and right. So this is the information new hires. Instead of percentage, I've taken hash here as an example 2020. So here the separator would be anything that you can see here. These are could be the separator, or you can only give your a custom separator. So I'm choosing custom because I've given the separator as a hash here. So towards that, new hires data will be there, and towards right we have 2020. So in order to create Sorry, in order to display that, I have to create a variable called text to left and text to right. So I have created a variables of them and I'm displaying them individually. So the text towards left and text towards right. And lastly, I'm going by providing some delay to end the automation process. So this is the automation for the first exercise. Now I'll run this exercise and see whether whatever designated output we have here. So this is the output panel. You can see towards left side. So the first output is hello. This is Professor Yogeshan. So this is the right line property output, and this is the message box that you can see on the board. Where file processing is completed, you wish to continue with the Excel file processing. So I'm getting a button here. When I click OK, it displays that and gives the input dialog box now. So in the input dialog box, I've prompted an input called please select how you want to proceed with the automation, and I've given three inputs in a multiple choice. One is process now, process later, and exit. So I can choose any one here, process now. I've chosen process now and I'll click OK. So that will display here with the new information. So the next property was changing the data to capital letters or the uppercase. So you can see here, and hash was replaced by uh, sorry, the percentage was replaced by double quotes here, double colon, and combining text is also done, right, with the single in output here. And then we have text to left and text to right information. And then lastly, after some time, after 5 seconds I've given here, you can see here 5-second delay has been given. So after some time, this has been executed with 53 seconds. After 53 seconds, suppose if I do not give this and I just prompt 0 here, so this will be prompted before 53 seconds. You can see here the output whatever we are getting now. So the amount taken by the time taken by the execution is 12 seconds here, because in the previous case I was explaining and then I was prompting the input, so it was taken some time. Now it will go with the data whatever the timeline whatever we have given. So this is the lab exercise 1 automation process. Thank you.